Hi, welcome to this presentation on essential oil and pregnancy yoni care. We're going to be talking about nether regions, vaginal care, urinary tract infections, yeast infections, all sorts of infections. Let's dive right in. Urinary tract infections are unfortunately more typically presenting in pregnancy. Mothers become more susceptible to them. And if you study aromatherapy at more advanced levels and get into ingestion of essential oils, one of the things that they'll talk about is how really essential oils move through the body and the pharmacokinetics of ingestion. All of the essential oils pass through the urinary and frequently the liver system, the liver. And so, this is part of the reason why essential oils are so effective on urinary tract infections, is because all the essential oils that pass through the body eventually do go through the urinary system. And so, when you're talking about urinary tract infections, you really have two primary objectives. I would say is gentle antibacterial, antiviral, um, just all of the antimicrobial, all of that support for actually healing the infection. And then you have anti-inflammatory support. There's such a um, kind of overzealous reaction of the body. And so that really delicate, inflamed, painful tissue is wonderful to have anti-inflammatory support. So those are really the two big pillars of what you would try to be accomplishing with essential oils. And for those measures, lavender, melaleuca, there have actually been multiple studies done specifically with melaleuca on urinary tract infections. I don't believe the participants were necessarily pregnant, but you can just type in urinary tract infections, essential oils, tea tree, melaleuca, and you'll find research on this. Roman chamomile, helichrysum, wild orange, these are all oils that can be used. Um, if you look at our resource, we have different recommendations for urinary tract infections. We have a recipe for a soothing herbal sitz bath, which is really wonderful. It has aloe vera gel, lavender. You can use wild orange, or if you've never treated yourself to any of the other citrus oils, now would be a great time to do that. Apple cider vinegar is the basis of this treatment. Then we have antibacterial wipes, which is just wonderful to have. And then our antifungal vaginal wipes is something that I really highly recommend as well. So those are some recipes that can address this. Let's also look at yeast infections. Mothers are also more vulnerable to these in pregnancy. Multiple studies have shown to effectively address this with essential oils. One thing that I don't know if I'm the only person, but I feel like every time I get a yeast infection, every time. The first day I get it, I know that I have it. But I'm like, is it? Is it really though? And it'll take me a full 12 or 24 hours to be like, oh yes, we have a situation. So really, I think important is to address the infection. Um, and just trust your intuition if you kind of know that something is coming on to address that quickly with some of these recipes. Melaleuca, lemon, mandarin, tangerine, again, you're just going to see a lot of citrus here. Roman chamomile, frankincense, these are all oils that are wonderful for their antiviral, antibacterial, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory support, and are just wonderful for treating that. Really, the hormone changes is what a lot of mothers what makes mothers more susceptible to this. And again, just a lot of times, even though they're at later points is going to be a thick whitish discharge from the vagina, the initial uncomfortable, itchy, irritable feeling is really what you want to look out first, and then address those with things like your antifungal vaginal wipes and different things to help that. So helichrysum, I just want to point out, is an oil that has really such an incredible soothing sensation for those delicate vaginal tissues. It also can support vascular and cardiovascular health. Lavender is a well-loved favorite. It's going to be very calming, very soothing for your feminine needs during that time. So these are all oils that you can look into, try, see what works best for you. We have some recipes here for kind of your vaginal care during this sensitive time. So check those out, and thanks for your attention, and I will see you in the next course.